Hello gamers from around the world, this is Archimedes, the video game enthusiast from Germany, with another forecasting video. Friends, the last few weeks have been a blast for video game fans. We got the presumably last big show from Sony where they revealed their launch lineup and how they want to start the next generation. Xbox was even more in the news. They basically dropped news after news, and for a content creator like myself this means busy times. And let's not forget that we are already in the middle of the gaming season, with a ton of games already out that I want to play and more to come. No, not this one. What is that? Who put that in? Get out of here. No, seriously though, in 6 weeks on November 10th, the next generation of gaming will start with the launch of the Xbox Series, and a few days later with the PlayStation 5. And those of you who follow my channel know that I've been saying it for a while. Since we don't have any gaming shows in a traditional sense this year, marketing for both of the platform holders is heavily relying on streams and social media. And we all know that in these day and ages a hype train has a really short lifetime, and that's why many announcements will come in the last few weeks before the consoles come out, to have the hype at the maximum when the consoles actually launch. For instance, it was not a coincidence that one day before the Xbox pre-orders went up, Xbox announced the biggest news of the year so far, and that is the acquisition of Bethesda. So over the next few weeks we can expect a lot of news. This video is dropping on Monday 28th of September, and we already know that this week will be the week where the big influencers will post their hands-on with the Xbox Series X. They have the consoles in their homes and they have been teasing it on their channels, so we can expect to see gameplay from the Xbox Series X this week. But I think it is safe to assume that the gameplay that we will see is mostly for games that are already released. With a bit of luck we might see gameplay for one of the big third-party titles like Assassin's Creed Valhalla running on the new consoles, but that's a big maybe, because I doubt that the publishers will give games that are not released in advance to influencers. Now this video is dedicated to what Xbox will show in October. It hasn't been officially announced, but it is heavily rumored that they will have one more showcase. And even if it's not going to be another show or stream, they have a ton left to announce, and in this video we are going to break it down. What is it that Xbox has left to announce? What will they show not in October but later down the road? And I'll give you some crazy speculations and wishes from my side. But before I break all that down, I want to ask you for a favor. I put a lot of work into my videos and I try to grow my channel, so if you think you are enjoying what you see, then please consider to hit the like button. If you do want to support the channel even further, you can hit the subscribe button, and if you do not want to miss out on any future content, then hit the little notification bell. All of this does not cost you anything, but it helps me more than you think. And if you know someone who would enjoy this kind of content, please feel free to share it out. I really do appreciate all the support. And now let's talk about what Xbox has left to announce in October. Alright, let's start with what we all want to see, and that is gameplay running on the Xbox Series X. Like I said in the intro, we can expect influencers to drop some gameplay from the new consoles in the next days, but what we all want to see is gameplay from their first party studios. And I highly doubt that they will go into the next generation without them showing at least once what the most powerful consoles ever built can do. So I expect them to focus during a yet to be announced October event on a few selected first party games. I have heard many times now that they won't be able to show something because the games are early in development, but I have to repeat myself here with something I said in my previous videos. Most of the announced games are already many years in development. Let's see here. Halo Infinite, more than 5 years in development. Hellblade 2, 3 years in development. Fable, the first leak or rumor was from early 2017, so it's more than 3.5 years in the making. Forza Motorsport 8, 3 years in development. Avowed was the reason Microsoft bought the developer Obsidian in 2018, so they had to have something to pitch them, so it is at least 3 years in development. State of Decay 3, 2.5 years in the making. We could go on, but you get my point. Even though most of these games won't come out before 2021, 22 and even in 23, it is hard for me to believe that after all those years of development they don't have anything to show. I know that many of those games will run on the Unreal Engine 5, which won't be released before early 21, but all of those games are currently built in Unreal Engine 4 and then they will be moved over to the new engine, so there must be something to demonstrate. A good example for me is the game Black Myth from a Chinese developer called Game Science. That game won't be out for many years, but they have been able to show gameplay and this surprised many, including myself, by how good that game looks. And I expect the same from Microsoft. They can show games running on the new hardware that are early in development, and I bet they will do that. but for which games? I doubt that we will see gameplay from Halo again, cause they will really make sure that next time it is polished. But I expect a little tease from Hellblade 2, Forza Motorsport 8, Psychonauts 2 and Fable. Well, and let me know in the comments below which games you expect to be shown with gameplay. And now comes the thing, you all know that Bethesda is now included in the Xbox Game Studios. There are a few games that could be shown from these new Xbox Studios. And here comes a bit of a fun speculation from myself. The last main game in the Wolfenstein series was released 3 years ago in 2017, so the team must have something they can show, and it would definitely generate some hype for the launch of the new console. And another thing that crossed my mind is Starfield. See, in a recent interview with Phil Spencer and Major Nelson, the mastermind behind the game, aka Todd Howard, was asked when we can see it. And see for yourself the reaction of him and Phil Spencer and the other guys in the interview.
Starfield, what's up?
I think it's gotten really good hype for a game no one's seen.
Okay. All right, there we go. I asked the question.
Well, people at Microsoft, some of them see some stuff. I will say that it's a really exciting project that we've been doing for a long time. And once we got on the new systems, the things we found we could do. And so it's a major engine rewrite on that game. And, people who know me, I like to wait as long as possible to show stuff. So we're closer to showing it than we were in the beginning of this conversation.
Now, that would be a huge push for Microsoft if they would show in October Starfield as an Xbox ecosystem exclusive. Okay, but what else has Microsoft left to announce? Besides the Bethesda hype, we know that Microsoft has some games left to announce from their first-party studios. And the big one is obviously The Initiative. They founded that studio back in 2018 to create a quadruple-A game, and they have been hiring talents from the biggest studios in the gaming industry to create the next big thing. Rumors have it that the game will be set in the Perfect Dark universe, but then we also got some concept art tweets by Eric Persson, who is the art director at The Initiative, and look at those images, they give me a Prince of Persia vibe, so who knows what the game will be. We also know that Phil Spencer was at the studio and played an early build of the game, but I could imagine that they saved that game for a later announcement very close to launch. Then there is the game from Compulsion, makers of We Happy Few, which is rumored to be a Bioshock meets Uncharted type of game, and the game from In Exile. And they have recently released the very well received Wasteland 3. It has been confirmed that they work on a AAA RPG running in Unreal Engine 5, and I would assume that they use the October event to tease that game. So on the first party front we have a lot of things yet to announce and show from Microsoft, but what else besides the first party games do they have left to announce? Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, recently stated that they are not done with studio acquisitions. And I know that there are rumors out there about a Sega acquisition. Well, and I think that Microsoft wants to invest into a Japanese studio, but I'm not sure if that will be Sega. Konami is also a candidate, but I think it is more likely that they will talk with From Software about an exclusivity deal for Elden Ring. And if Microsoft will announce a studio acquisition, I do not expect it to be a multi-studio publisher. More likely it will be a studio like Asobo, Techland or People Can Fly. But exciting times nonetheless. And that brings me to my last segment, and that is third-party deals. Well, we know about the marketing deals for a couple of games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Cyberpunk, and there have been rumors out there that Microsoft wants to invest to bring a big AAA game to Game Pass at launch of the Xbox Series X. Well, and of course those two games would be candidates, but I think they are also a bit too big. Watch Dogs Legion could be one, but my guess here is, if the rumors are true, then it'll be Outriders. That game has been announced for holiday 2020, and end of September we still don't have a release date. It has been shown as one of the games running on the Series S in the console announcement trailer, so there has to be some sort of a relationship, and with my previous speculation about a possible acquisition of the studio, it would line up. But there are other third-party games that Microsoft can and will show during October. For instance, what happened to Dying Light 2 by Techland? It's more than time that we get an update on that game. Then we have the aforementioned Elden Ring by From Software, a Souls-like game where Game of Thrones mastermind George R.R. Martin is involved. Far Cry 6 is also set to release in February, so in 4.5 months, and we haven't seen anything from the game. And then there is the highly rumored Mass Effect Trilogy, which is apparently set to launch in October, and we haven't even gotten an announcement yet. So there are many possible announcements left, and whatever turns out to be true, one thing is safe to say: the next 6 weeks leading up to the launch of the console will be very fun for us gamers. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and consider sharing this out to other gamers. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below, what do you think Microsoft will announce in October? Any crazy speculations from your side? And besides here on YouTube, you can also hit me up on Twitter, where I share a lot of opinions and gaming discussions. But for now, thank you very much for watching, I see you the next time, and game on!